30th anniversary. We're with Wendell Young, the general manager. And Wendell, I want to talk a little bit about your time and the 30 years with the Wolves. What took place for you going back 30 years ago? You played 6 years with the Wolves, but how did that all become something that took place in your favor? Because it was a lockout year. There was a lot going on that year in the NHL.
It was an NHL lockout. I was in playing in Tampa. Gino Briaco, got me to come to Pittsburgh, got me to come to Tampa. He ends up the first coach here, and assistant GM. He has a whole connection with the Tony and Phil Esposito, a Sault Ste. Marie thing. And all through that, relationships and everything, he asked, Gino Briaco asked Phil and Tony to send me, get me sent to him because he needed a goalie. And I came here and I actually, the lockout was over and Tampa ended up training me back to Pittsburgh for another year during the lockout year. And my plan was to retire. I was supposed to go back to Tampa and become a part of management with Phil Esposito. And I'm unpacking at my house in Tampa, and I got a call from the Wolves. And we went off you a 3-year deal to keep playing. And I'm like, stop unpacking. We're going to move to Chicago. And I played it year by year. I actually, I was so fortunate to play pro hockey for 18 years. Really lucky to play, until I was 38. I actually thought I could play more, but it was time. It was time. I think it was time personally, but it's when we went into the American Hockey League and we're going to have an affiliate. And I literally, I told Kevin Shoveldayoff, our GM, at that time, it was just, it was time because what's going to happen, you're going to sign me. They're going to sign 2 goalies. It's going to cause problems for you. It's going to cause problems and everything. I go, It's just time to walk away. And I'm happy that I did because I got into coaching and eventually in the management. And I had told Chevy, he goes, what do you want to do? I said, I want your job. He actually said, it's not available right now, is it? And I said, no. I said, when you leave, I have a lot of interest in being a job manager.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. But those early years, first of all, Don Levin, we talked about him, how his competitiveness is always there. To be such a great franchise right from the get-go and win championships, and you individually won so many awards, Man of the Year, almost your last year playing with the Wolves, obviously Baz Bastine, and you've won a tremendous amount of awards. But why were they so good so early on when it was a new franchise?
I just think it started from the top with Don Levin coming in with the attitude that he wants to win. He wants to, has a lot of pride. And I think it's just, we built on that first year that we established ourselves as a franchise and a winning franchise. And I think it just built from there. And, it takes a while for the reputation to get around how great a place is to play for the Chicago Wolves. And it just built from there. Like, the fact that, after my first year of being here for whatever, 4 or 5 months, they called me back to bring me back. We had Steve Malte, long time. Like they got some building blocks, I guess, in place and then built around that. And, we wanted to win. Don Levin wanted to win from day one. It wasn't just, hey, let's just get as many people through the door. It's like, let's put a winning team out there. So it's really, really important for our organization. And I think just everything that goes along with it. We did everything first class from day one and just built a reputation of the team that people wanted to come here, not just players, but, staff wanted to come here.
We talked briefly, you touched upon retirement. I was always told, play until they rip the sweater off your back. Don't ever let them, because once you're done, you're kind of almost done. So when you got to that point, what were your thoughts about, like, in your mind, why were you retired? Did you feel like you didn't have enough, or did you just had enough for playing the game? Where were you at that time?
I think I played long enough, and I think I was satisfied with my career.
Yeah.
I think it was at that. I just didn't want to go to the rink for the paycheck.
Yeah.
I really didn't. Did I still have the drive? Yeah, but I didn't have the same drive I had 4 years before, type thing. And if you don't have the drive coming to the rink, it's not good. You're not being fair to yourself. You're not being fair to anybody if you don't have that same drive. And again, it's we were ending up with an affiliate, and it would have been a 3 goalies here, and it would have been like tough on me, tough on the coach, tough on Chevy, because I'd be playing games, and I actually said to Chevy, I said, you're going to tell me I'm not going to play many games, and at the end of the year, I probably will play the most. That's what happened. That's what's happened. I said, so just it was a point to it was time to move on, and I knew I wanted to stay in hockey in some form.
Well, it was a brilliant career you did have, a fairy tale life you've had. And we have one more of these, but the stories have been tremendous so far, Wendell. We'll be back with more Wolves hockey after this.